I almost feel like we should blow those threads out a little bit. If only we had an air compressor.
And you mean instead of a drone?
Instead you. I ain't buying no air compressor for your garage.
Oh, well then don't complain.
I'll buy a drone for the channel, but no air compressor for your garage.
Oh. I might have some canned air. Man, put another washer under there.
You don't need one. No, the objective today is to get the torque converter into the transmission over there. Put a good smattering of anti-seize where it should go, so that the Maverick don't have to bleed its own blood.
That's right.
Because, you know, if you guys recall from previous video, the junk stain bled its own blood. Well, that's because the torque converter was stuck in the flywheel flex plate here. And the crankshaft, and wouldn't come apart because somebody forgot to put anti-seize on the torque converter where it goes into the crankshaft there.
It made quite the mess.
But rest assured, folks, some anti-seize is going on it today.
So from what we can tell, this is going to fit with the floor and the tunnel, although we don't have the transmission mounted. So it's still a little not 100% clear if we're going to bump into anything.
Them headers are going to be tight skis.
Yeah.
Chuck, where are we going?
Put air in the tires first. Most people would get their tire fixed on their daily driver. I, on the other hand, I'm going to go buy a rear end for a car that can't move under its own power. Yeah!
Priorities, people.
Yeah, they're priorities.
Yeah, it's rough being a junker.
Right. Action!
Action! How many miles do you say this have on it?
He said the rear end had 40,000 on it when he put it in there. He put it in there right when he got it.
Oh, there's no way this is only 40,000.
Oh, it's looking a lot more than that.
I've been working on cars my whole life, bro.
It could be a lot more than that. Hell, it could be the original gears that they put in the 86 and a half. Because I think some of them came with 370.
No, not in 86.
No, not in 86.
No, they didn't. They weren't available as an option until 95, 94 or 95. Unless you got something like the Cobra or, you know,
well,
like
that's why I was wondering about the 31 spline. I was wondering how you came up with that, because that would have been a really rare, like a Cobra or...
I'm pretty sure
31 spline is 89 through 93.
Exactly.
Or 89 and on.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I really hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I can't see letting my friend pay more than $300 for this thing. I just can't.
What do you got in it? What do you got to get for it?
I got 4 in it.
Oh damn.
No, I mean it is what it is, man. You know, it's. See, what I was gonna do, I was just gonna put axle grease, replace the wheel cylinders, put some lube in it, and run it.
Well, it's not that it won't work. I'm sure that it will. It's together. It's about how much money I'll have to put into it to make it.
What do you build? I mean, what do you?
We took that Mustang for a donor engine car for a 1970 Maverick. This will be the rear end for it. We got a AOD transmission. I don't know how much horsepower are we expecting.
You get about 3.5 wheels.
Okay, that's what I got in mine.
You know,
2,200-pound car.
Yeah.
So
well,
this thing,
1,000 pounds lighter.
This thing's got to put up with a lot more than the original engine ever would have been able to throw at it.
Yeah.
Which I think it can probably handle. It's just.
Point is my point is you're asking top dollar for something that
is
well, the reason why
worn
it's
out.
150 is because I would have, you know, somebody.
It's got a lot more miles on it.
So here's where I'm at on this, man. This is like close to the equivalent of if I found a Fox body in the junkyard. Just being totally real with you.
No.
This is the equivalent of what you would find in the junkyard that you would have, you know, pay them a couple extra bucks to cut out for you and get it in your truck and go home, and then, you know, have to have it gone through. A junkyard rear end is, and I'm gonna try to work with you, but a junkyard rear end's only like 150 bucks.
Yeah, right.
Now granted, this is already out and it's right here in front of us, and I just drove to Warrenton to get it and spent some gas money on it already, so I'd like to make a deal with you.
Right.
And I don't know where, but I don't know.
No, I hear you.
I don't know where you're at on it. What makes you feel reasonable that?
Can you do 350 for it?
Whew.
340. I'll do 340. Just because I'm losing 60 bucks on it, but I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I know it's a posi. They both spin. I know it's a posi rear end.
I know, but
all
that's.
I was going to do is slap it in. And if I would have broke something, and really what I was going to do is replace the ring and pinion on mine.
Yeah.
But he had this. It was all together. I didn't have to worry about having the right person do it.
Right. Well, I've got to
buy the ring and pinion. That's what, 180 bucks just for that.
Yeah.
I'm going to want to do the bearings. So then I'm going to be in it.
Well, that's
600 bucks.
That's what I'm telling you. That's where I got to go with it. And so, if I give you top dollar for it and then still have to have it gone through, it doesn't make any sense for me, because I could just go and get a new housing and you know what I'm saying. So this will work for me, man. I mean, as far as it being a usable you know, piece, but it's just not a top dollar piece, man.
Right.
I'm surprised you said 3. I'll be totally honest with you.
Honestly, I was empathizing with him because he was told that it only had 40,000 on it, and you guys got to meet in the middle somewhere.
Right.
Chuck, in his mind, he's thinking he wants to pay $250 for it.
Right.
And I'm thinking, well, I mean, we don't want to insult you either.
Right. No,
so
I hear you.
I figured 3 was a pretty fair number, in all honesty, and that's me separating myself from him and yourself and just looking at it from an unobjective point of view.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Like I said, I've been in this business for a long time, and I know a square deal when I see one.
Yeah.
Will you take 3 for it, man?
Yeah.
All right.
Right on, man. Yep.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but
and when I looked in there, I was like, yeah, it is kind of.
It's got some wear on it.
I could tell it had wear, but I couldn't tell if it had 150,000. Now I know it does got a little play I felt in it, but.
watch out now. All right, so Giuseppe's is probably at home in bed right now, probably dreaming about not having to work on the Maverick today. But alas, we will work on the Maverick today. And why is that important? Well, that's important because the 2019 General Tire Quoin, Illinois Street Machine Nationals is in 2 weeks. And Joe and I have been hoping to have this vehicle up and going by then. You know, we're starting to feel like it's not going to happen, but we're going to push real hard today. It's beautiful outside, and it's warm. There's no rain. It's a Friday, which means businesses are open. And of course, if you ever try to get anything done on a weekend, you know, it's a lot harder because there will be businesses closed and etc. So basically what we got going on today, though, is as you probably saw from the previous clip, we did go ahead and pick up a Mustang rear end. And so I measured from face of flange to face of flange on this, basically hub to hub, and I came up with 59.5 inches. After discussing this quite a bit last night on some forums, it sounds like that's in a pretty good spot as far as axle width. So it's about, I'm guessing, a 1.5 inches or so wider than what's in there now. But we can make up with that with offset on the wheels. The only problem with that is I was not hoping to have to find wheels right now, because that rear end's a 4-lug, and so are these. So, you know, I was really hoping to just be able to throw these wheels and tires on it to get it down to Quoin, but maybe the case that that won't work.
Day already.
Oh, sad junker. Well, look at it this way. Look at
what you got going on here?
Look how much of this I got out of the way.
Holy sh!
All I gotta do is unbolt the dude, every bolt that you normally deal with on a situation like this, everything just fell off the car, man.
It fell off.
It's ridiculous, man. I mean, I haven't hit the U-bolts yet, but like the brake line that normally you would just break off because it's stupid, just Just came right off. No problem at all. There's coffee. Oh, you got a drink. So Junker Joe showed up.
I'm here. May not be awake yet, but I'm here.
How you feeling, man? I mean, meh. So I'm hoping this.
It is a very meh kind of morning.
Meh.
Meh.
Well, there's the last look of this rear end in this car.
It's gone.
This cute little thing is coming out.
Coming out.
It's funny. I think that's the same one that fought me to the very end on the other side.
Yeah.
It seems like it. Yeah. Yeah, that inner one on the back. I think so. Man, you gonna crap your pants, bro.
Beer.
What is that, Budweiser?
Yeah.
Beer. All right.
That was a burp that I forgot to burp earlier.
Let me get the hell away. Ah, Jesus Christ, man. Mad junkering at its finest.
So we didn't follow the 5 Ps today or the 7 Ps, and we called around for some spring perches and nobody has them, and this is gonna happen today.
Yeah, so we're not taking no for an answer.
So we're cutting the spring perches off the stock Maverick axle, and then we're gonna weld them onto the Mustang axle. Ta-da! One down. Somewhere around in there, like that.
We'll have a little peeky poo.
Oh, this is the point where we kind of put the rear end in the car and have a little peeky poo.
We're gonna have a little peeky poo.
I want to have a peeky poo.
Peeky poo.
I want to take a peeky poo. All right, peeky poo time.
Hobart got you.
Hobart got me. All right, so my only complaint so far about this Hobart welder is the cheap bastards didn't send us any stickers with a $700 welder.
Yeah, come on now.
Mad Junker Fabrication in the house.
All right, so we're gonna yank this thing back out, and Joe's gonna play with the welder some more, and then we gotta go find some wheels, and
Why I want a caravan? It's got no fucking wheels.
then we're almost there.
Almost there.
Stand by.
So what happened, Chuck?
Bullshit.
So on a Fox body, you have these wonderful things called quad shocks. That's what they're called in the Mustang world, but really what it is it's a lateral shock absorber that is 50-50 bias that keeps your rear end from twisting around too much. They work great on Fox chassis, but seeing how this is a Maverick with leaf springs, we had to cut them off to make clearance for the U-bolts.
Very unfortunate.
Very, very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. Turn of events.
Now we gotta buy traction bars. It's like Lemony Snicket up in here.
But
A series of unfortunate events. But
But I mean, if we didn't cut them perches out and reuse them, we'd still be dead in the water.
Yeah, stand still.
So I mean, it's, you know,
it's happening.
yeah, it could be worse. Adventure time.
Action.
Action. Yes.
Yes.
So unexpectedly, going to get wheels.
Rim world.
I got some kind of turbines on the front of it, although they're not stock, but I'm thinking if you got something like that, that'd probably come in handy. Yeah, that's...
Yeah. So, 2 cheapies later, we've obtained a pair of turbs. Turbs. Hopefully they're no rubby.
Oh, I almost just backed right into that pole. I think that guy was trying to warn me too. Yep. So, mechanical lug nuts.
Mechanical. You know, I'm willing to bet that people have hit that pole before.
Yeah, that's why they got those tires on it. Dude, I bet I stopped like an inch from running into it too. I just barely caught it out of the corner of my eye.
It's alright, you'd have found it eventually.
Yeah.
Okay, onward to lug nuts.
Wait a minute, with the extra, I got a whole set of Mustang lug nuts.
Do you?
Yep.
Found some turbskis.
If they fit, you must have quit. And that's how you put a rear end in a Maverick that you bought on Craigslist and got out of a Mustang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.